A free gift is never free.
It's an invoice with a smile on it.
And the person who handed it to you already knows the day they're going to collect. Stay with me. In about 6 minutes, I'll give you 10 words that cancel the whole trap without making you look rude, and 3 signals that expose it before you ever get to the ask.
Start with the mechanism, because willpower will not save you here.
Human brains are wired to return favors.
That reflex kept small tribes alive for 100,000 years.
Now the same wiring runs inside a world full of strangers who studied it in a textbook. Give first, ask second. The ask feels lighter because you're not deciding anymore. You're settling a bill. It doesn't feel like pressure. It feels like fairness.
That's the entire reason it works on smart people.
Watch how it lands this week.
A car salesman hands you a cold bottle of water and walks you to a chair for 15 minutes.
A recruiter sends a personalized voice note before pitching a role that pays under market.
A colleague quietly covers one small task of yours on Monday, then asks you to swap weekends on Friday.
A charity mails you address labels you never requested, then a donation slip in the same envelope.
A restaurant server drops 2 mints with the check and tips jump around 21%.
The mints cost pennies. The lift was structural. None of these people are villains.
They are running a script that works whether they understand it or not.
Now the 2026 version, which is louder and harder to see.
A creator drops a free 40-page PDF, then a course 3 days later.
A SaaS tool gives you a 14-day trial with a warm onboarding call from a real human, then a yearly contract quote.
A stranger on LinkedIn writes 3 paragraphs breaking down your work, then asks for a quote, a referral, or a favor.
The gift is engineered. The debt is the product. AI has made the gift cheaper to produce and more personal to receive, which means you'll get more of them, each one tuned to sound like it was written for you alone.
That is the surface you have to defend now.
Here is how you recognize it in real time. 3 signals. First, the gift arrives before the relationship.
You didn't ask, you don't know them, and suddenly there's value in your lap.
Second, the gift is disproportionate to the contact.
A stranger writing a 2-page breakdown of your business is not being generous.
They're preloading. Third, the ask follows fast. Same message, same meeting, same week.
Real generosity doesn't keep a calendar.
Engineered generosity does.
If 2 of those 3 signals fire, treat what's in your hand as a bill, not a present.
Most people try to defend with willpower and lose.
They tell themselves, I won't feel obligated.
That fails because reciprocity is not a thought, it's a reflex, and you cannot outthink a reflex in real time.
You have to redirect it with language.
Here's the move.
When the ask lands, say this out loud or in writing.
I appreciate the gesture, and I'll decide this on its own merits. 10 words. Read them again.
I appreciate the gesture, and I'll decide this on its own merits.
Notice what that sentence does under the hood.
It acknowledges the gift, so you're not rude.
It separates the gift from the decision, so the debt has nowhere to land.
It puts the ask back on its actual value, which is usually where it quietly loses.
Use it in specific rooms.
In a sales office after the free coffee and the tour, before you sign anything, say it.
In a salary conversation after the warm intro and the personal note, before you name a number, say it.
In a DM after the long compliment, before you agree to a call, say it.
If the other side gets frustrated by that one sentence, you just learned what the gift was really for.
Real allies do not punish you for evaluating.
One more layer, because reciprocity has a shadow move called rejection, then retreat.
They ask for something big. You say no, they immediately shrink the ask.
That smaller ask feels like a compromise you owe them. It isn't. It's the same trap in a second costume. Same 10 words work. I appreciate the gesture, and I'll decide this on its own merits.
The second ask gets the same test as the first. No softer, no faster.
Here's your application step for the next 7 days.
Pick one channel where unrequested value lands in your lap.
Your inbox, your DMs, your calendar invites, a store you walk into on Saturday.
Every time a gift shows up followed by any ask, type the 10 words into your notes app before you reply.
Not as a script you send every time.
As a pause you install between the gift and the decision.
After a week, you'll notice something uncomfortable.
A large share of the yes you were about to give were not decisions.
They were payments.
And you were the only person in the room who didn't know a bill had been issued.
Break the link between gift and debt, and most of the quiet manipulation in your life stops working on its own.